but
apparently the audio wasn't being shared, so that's fixed now. Oh, I do love it when it doesn't give me an audio setting. Just Under will retire because at the moment we're just watching an empty pit lane, which is lovely to see, but we would rather be watching something else.
Yes. There's 3 minutes left, and Lunda's yet to retire. I don't know why he hasn't. There you go.
There we go, finally retires from the session. We will get underway a little bit earlier than usual. But yeah, we were waiting a significant period of time there. But yeah, formation lap on, and hopefully the guys adhere to the 2-minute prep period that we have in place. As you can see, VSR Blizzard on pole with a 16.6. His first lap, I'm pretty sure, let's just double check that. Yep, was indeed his one and only lap. A very, very good lap. And it would have surprised me if he managed to go much faster than that on his second run. He's obviously got a very quick one-lap setup, because we've seen a lot of laps in practice where they've not really been that, especially on the first run. So it's interesting to see. But we'll see what he does during the race. And hopefully all the guys adhere to the 2 minutes that we have, and the timer will start, and then hopefully the drivers can get all their strategies done, and we can have 0 reprimands / penalties today. So just a quick word on strategy then. You were saying earlier that, you know, the one stop can work, and we've seen the one stop here work before. Obviously there's different tyre compounds now, so it's a bit different, but would you say that the one stop from soft to medium, or medium to soft of course, is preferable, or would you rather go for an aggressive 2-stop where you can use the mediums in the middle stint and then use softs or supers at the end?
That's a good question. I mean, I think looking at past races, like including F1 race, like an aggressive 2-stop is quite a risky strategy considering that the tyre temperatures are so effective in this game. I think if you want a good race strategy, I think the 1-stop is probably the safest option. Bearing in mind you avoid all the traffic, all the track, you have proper track position. I feel that is the fastest strategy. Despite it seeming that if you just go on the 2 soft tyre, you probably get the strategy you're going for. But yeah, at the moment, it looks like the way to go.
So our second place man, Manuel Hamilton, will receive a reprimand or 10-second time penalty at the end of the race. Didn't even reach 1 minute. It's the longest we've done this season, mind you, but yes. It's not good.
Yeah, there's 20 seconds. That's our longest. But there you go.
So let's just have a quick look at what tyres everyone's on. So yeah, a lot of guys, in fact everyone from Bendel downwards, so 11th to 18th, everyone's on the softs. No one going for the mediums, interestingly. Does that surprise you at all?
A little bit. I'd sorry someone will try and gamble it, go on mediums for long and then go on a faster set. But soft tires seem like the way to go for everybody. I feel like they were listening to me for a bit, but there you go. Yeah, soft tires going for a 1-stop. It's interesting. That kind of forces some people's paces, like for example 6 down potentially, like Bendel, Aaron as well. They might be under pressure from the people from behind on those fresh softs later on in the race, and even towards the end of the race when they choose to change the tyres to probably mediums most likely. And the other Taurus is going straight past. There you go.
Yeah, very slow formation lap actually. I'm not quite sure what Shane the Boss is doing. Running his own pace apparently. So yeah, both Mercedes, we haven't seen this yet, where 2 cars that are teammates up the front have been together. Obviously Bendel and Manuel Hamilton's never really going to happen. Super Guy and Aaron have always been sort of apart, although they have qualified close, and we've never really seen anyone have to double stack. Now obviously Mini's done an extra lap on his tyre, so he may just end up pitting a lap earlier anyway, but that could massively hinder one of their races.
It depends on how well their start is as well. If they get a good start, then everything should fall through then and there, but see how it will work out as soon as it gets to the first 3 or 4 corners. Anything can happen in the race, of course.
So here we go then for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix here, round 3 of season 10 here in PSF1 F3 division. Just waiting for them all to sync up. Here we go then. 5 red lights in Barcelona. And once again, this is a really annoying glitch. And they're away at last. It's a poor start from Blizzard. Manuel going on the attack straight away. Blizzard defends the inside. Mini all behind him as well. The two McLarens going at it. Toro Rosso trying to squeeze through. There's a slide from Blizzard. Manuel Hamilton's got the corner. Mini inherits the lead of the Grand Prix on lap 1. We've got Supercar on the softs up to second already. A great start from him. Aaron as well fighting as they come round turn 3 now. Into turn 4. Is there going to be a move from the Toro Rosso Falduro? I think it's just about to... kept it through. And one of the Haas cars as well, that's Lee and Ols actually together. Ols in the Force India, big lock up from him. And I think everyone's just about got through. Blizzard trying to push his way through the pack. And we've got a huge number of cars all trying to filter through turn 6 now. This should be quite interesting. Fast corner. And Alduro, I think that was there. In fact, Shane the Boss, sorry, has lost a couple of positions from that. No real big gainers on the softs in the opening few laps, and who's that that's gone? Someone's gone off straight away. That's the Sauber. I think it might be Ollie Flavel. No, it's Milan. Ollie managed to keep his nose clean there. Having said that, has anyone got a wing damage? I think there might be a safety car potentially. Nope, there is no safety car at all. Got yellows and a lot of them. Marklin's off, and he has got no front wing either. Losing a couple of guys now, overtaking through the last sector is not what you see, but it is Mini that leads on lap 1 here. Pretty sure he didn't see this coming. Aaron's got past his teammate as well, and it's Super Guy now in P3 on the soft tyres. Manuel Hamilton following in P4. Alduro though, very close to the back of him. I'm not quite sure who that was. Bendel and Blizzard, that's who it was. They're still going side by side, but Blizzard is already through from 9th to 6th. But he's come down from first place, and Lee trying to get past Ols as well. That's not an overtake you particularly see. Ols not very aggressive in this first stage of the race, it seems. Francis as well struggling on those soft tyres already. Hasn't made up from his P10 start, and onto the mediums is Shane the Boss, Zonda, Milan and Marklin also in the pits.
Very, very chaotic start from the start. It looks like what was it? Hamilton actually outbraked himself and hit Blizzard from around the outside. Tried to go around, make an overtake work, didn't work. Hit Blizzard, knocked him off and sent him all the way back to like P12 at one point, and then somehow got back up to P6. Mini leads the Grand Prix out of all of that, and Aaron overtakes Super.
We've got a yellow sector 2, and Ollie Flavel has put it in the wall. I can only imagine that's coming out of the quick turn 9. I believe it's turn 9. And might be turn 8 actually. But yeah, so he is out of the Grand Prix, and we've already had, well, I'm surprised we didn't have another retirement, because...
battle for the lead going on. It's like Aaron might get Mini here for the lead.
We've got Super Guy just behind as well. Manuel Hamilton not too far behind either. Blizzard sets the fastest lap. Aaron sticks to literally the gearbox of Mini for now, and he might... Oh, he's had a little bit of understeer coming through turn 2. This is going to allow his teammate to close up now. Has he got the grip though, Super Guy? Not quite, and Ollie leaves the session. He's much tighter though through turn 4.
Starting to see the tyre wear effect from his exhaust already on lap 3 as Guy already on the back of his teammate. Somehow getting ahead of Super Guy at the start when we gets that, but Manuel Hamilton, everyone's closing up. Top 6 closing up a treat. It's now a gap between about 2.5 seconds. Top 6.
Oh, there's a big moment for Super Guy! Is it Super Guy or not? I can't tell.
No,
Manuel Hamilton's been caught up in it as well. And there's a huge crash. It is. And Manuel Hamilton has been retired. I'm not quite sure. One of the McLarens lost it big time. And we have got a virtual safety car. Will Mini pit because he did have an extra lap of wear, and it would surprise me if the super soft runners would just get those up for you now. If they don't pit, then they're shooting themselves in the foot, really. Surely they're going to pit. Blizzard has gone off track to let Alduro back through. That's good sportsmanship there, unless he actually went wide. Who's in the pits then? Is Mini into the pits? Yes, he is. Does he get followed in by the others? Yes, Aaron in. Alduro stays out, unbelievably. Blizzard is going to get held up here, though. He's got front wing damage anyway, so it's not going to affect him. Well, it's going to affect him even more, sorry. VSL Francis stays out, of course, on the soft tyres. Bendel in off his super softs. Lee, Ols as well, all in. Everyone else staying out, of course, because everyone else below them is on the soft tyres. Virtual safety car still in effect. And so Super Guy's inherited the lead of the race. Alduro P2, who's made a massive mistake here though. And we are green again. This is DRS enabled. Now Alduro, how quick is he going to be on those dead super soft tyres? Because we know they go off after about 3 to 4 laps. And on the 5th lap you really need to come in, and he's taken a huge gamble here. And he's going to have lost about, I want to say 15 seconds possibly, maybe even more than that.
Probably, yeah. I think it was a bad call not to pit right now. I think the super softs will die eventually. Unless he's thinking long term going on to the mediums and getting those fresher tyres. They might help him out towards the end, but the time level off will be way too much. I think he's made a mistake there. But with Hamilton, we literally just lost the back end through turn 9 and couldn't recover. And then unfortunately, Blizzard hit Hamilton.
Yeah,
through the.
Yeah, Zegalego up into P4. We've got another yellow in sector 3. Who's that?
It's Aldoro. He's gone.
Wow. So let's just try and get on board with him. Where is he? He's in the pits. So hopefully that didn't affect him too much. I mean, he's already screwed himself over with the virtual safety car. So that is pretty much him right down the order now. But yeah, so is Zegalego up to he's actually just no he hasn't, he's up to 3rd now. He's got a train behind him. King of JJ's on the grass, and it's his teammate as well trying to get past 3 wide into turn 1. Then oh my goodness, where's King of JJ going? Off the track. Blizzard is there to pout. Sorry, it's not even Blizzard, it's Mini. Blizzard all the way down to P12 at the moment. We've got chaotic stuff going on at the moment. Both the Williams up into 3rd and 4th. Remarkable stuff. They're trying to fight each other now as they come through turn 4, and these two have probably never even been up this high, and now it's just about holding their positions because they can one stop of course, and this will help them massively because all the guys behind them have to stop again.
They do, yeah. It's actually working out well so much for the BSC. I'd played in their favour, but they have to hold on to this. Mini is the fastest driver. He's
literally touching the back of Eusebio as they come out of turn 9. DRS in action though. He's going to surely go to the inside as they come into the hairpin now. Easy move down the inside with the DRS, although Eusebio did himself. But is he going to come back? No, he's not. He's going to hold his position. And probably best so that he does that. King of JJ not too far behind me. We've got some mega movers in the first few laps. Zigalego up 12, Eusebio up 11 places, and Francis up 7 as well. Mainly because of the early pit stops. But yeah, what a great start to this Grand Prix, I have to say.
It's very chaotic indeed. So many people out of position. Like Blizzard having a poor start as Mini is about to get P3. He needs
making
to push
quick progress through this traffic early on. Is he going to defend? Is he Zigalego? I think he's going to let him through. Yeah, he is. He knows best to just let him through. Mini's a much faster driver at this stage. At the moment, he's within 1 pit stop of Super Guy, so they are pretty much on the same strategy at the moment. And Super Guy's going to be he's going to be slower now at this stage of the race because Mini, of course, on fresh rubber, and Mini will be quicker at the end of the race as well because he has to stop again, and so does Super Guy. So it could be a very interesting end to this race already, and we're only 6 laps in.
It could be very interesting indeed. And Mini has to push now if he wants to win this race because Super Guy is in the best position right now.
Oh, the yellow in sector 1. Who is that? It is Zonda, so both the Red Bulls really struggling once again. Marklin's actually left the session once again, so he really doesn't have a good reputation at the moment. Milan going around in 14th, sorry 15th even. He'll do his thing, they'll get past Zonda pretty quickly. Shane running the mediums along with Lee, and Blizzard also running the mediums now. And it's all about making up lost time now and just damage limitation really for him.
Aaron also on the mediums about to get past Zagalgo, and he also needs to do more pushing as well. He needs to try and catch Mini. At one point, it looked like he was about to take a lead to Grand Prix. Oh,
there's a big swerve in there. I'm not quite sure if there's any contact or not. Aaron's gone quite deep, but he's made sure that Zegalego couldn't get back through as he has a moment, and he's very, very twitchy on those tyres. Whether he's running high ballast or not, I'm not quite sure, but it's allowed his teammate now to catch. Kingham JJ just behind as well. And what's happened here? Mini is catching like crazy. He's already cut the gap down from 20 to 17 seconds. So I'm not quite sure if Francis is struggling, but he has caught on Super Guy as well. So Mini flying on these fresh soft tyres. We'll catch up with him in a bit. Aaron has already dumped the both the William drivers and he's flying.
Yeah, he needs to push. He has to try and get Mini again because he has intending to the end. I think Mini is intending to stop again. By then, he'd have to push him. I think he might go on soft ties again for his next run.
You know, I reckon that Blizzard is running a very low front wing because he was having to downshift through that fast right-hander at the top of the hill. And you can almost take it flat, not necessarily the race, but he does seem to be struggling. Was Zegalego, after a great first 8 laps, has spun it up, and he'll be struggling to recover from that. Bendel, I think, is going to concede the position here to the Mercedes of Blizzard. He's not giving up easy, though. He's making it a little bit difficult for the Mercedes, but in the end, it's a very easy move, and not quite sure why Bendel even attempted to defend that in the end.
Yeah, it's a recovery drive for Blizzard, really. Bendel trying to do something, I guess, trying to make it enjoyable, but pass is a pass, so there you go. He's trying to probably get P5 in this race. Another
yellow in sector 2. That's one of the guys slightly further up the field, or right down on the back. Not quite sure who that was then. Super guy still leads. Yeah, so 15 seconds. Mini is closing, and Super Guy's going to have to either push, or Mini's pushing too much maybe, and that's going to be a case of him now overheating his tyres. We'll see how that develops. Eusebio and Kingdom JJ going at it. Kingdom JJ's gone very deep though by the looks of things.
Yeah, they're both on the same age tyres, so they're actually back to the actual position. This one.
Another yellow in sector 2. That's Alduro, and he's off the circuit again.
Yeah, Blizzard back up to P8 now.
Blizzard on the charge. Just looking at Alduro, he did lose about 9 seconds to Mini because they were running quite close, and that's the time that he lost through the VSC. Kim JJ getting past Eusebio into turn 1. And we've got another yellow in sector 3. That is Zegalego spinning again. That's twice in the final sector now he's spun, and Milan just picking off people at the moment, doing his own thing, but he's doing his own thing to good effect.
Yeah, he had a poor start from the beginning, and now he's trying to do a recovery drive on medium tyres, 7.5 on mediums now. But you were saying earlier, Mini is getting that. The gap is now dropped to 15 seconds to the guy.
You're just watching the battle for 6th at the moment. It's Eusebio, Ols up Blizzard in there as well, so this should be quite interesting. He lines up a move now into the hairpin. Ols going defensive, but not defensive enough. The Mercedes breezes past on those medium tyres, and is making this look easy, isn't he, really? And it wouldn't surprise me if he still gets a podium out of this, although he's got quite a way to go yet, and of course he does have to stop again. Mind you, so does everyone in front of him, so it could be quite an interesting end to this race.
Could be very interesting. Yeah, he could be a very dark horse to maybe Aaron, maybe Mini as well. So he might actually.
Eusebio pulling off into the pits as well. He's done 10 laps on those soft tyres, so possibly could have taken them a couple of laps more. I mean, Super Guy's still going pretty strongly, so it's a bit of a surprise. But Mini is taking chunks of time out of Francis. Has he got traffic up ahead or something? No. He's just really struggling for setup. He's just got past Marklin's ghost car, so he's definitely not been held up by that, but he's dropping back massively from Super Guy, and he's been caught not as quick as Mini was originally, because I think his tyres are beginning to sort of wear in now. But yeah, he's definitely struggling on those tyres, is Francis. So we'll see if Super Guy comes in end of this lap, actually. Let's just quickly skip to Blizzard, and he's fighting with Kingdom JJ. That's surely a warning he's picked up there. But up through the fast right-hander then. Right on board now, Kingdom JJ. Is he going to defend? Nope. And Blizzard will go through into P5. And he's making quick progress of this early traffic. It does look like he's getting quite a few warnings though, although I haven't seen a penalty pop up just yet. So maybe he's just within the limits. Francis, big lock up into the pits. Does make his pit stop though. And this promotes Aaron into a podium scoring position now. And Blizzard up into P4.
Yeah, to start he had Francis didn't enjoy those soft tyres. I think he might do better on the medium ones, but at the moment Guy still doing his bit. Still 15.5 seconds. He's still managing that gap between.
He's going to come out behind Lee as well, I think, here, actually, you know. And he is. So he's in an awful position at the moment because he's in that traffic. He's gone softs again, so he'll run super softs at the end of the race, I can only presume. Because he's done 11 laps on those soft tyres, so 11 laps again would be 22. Actually, having said that, no. So he's only done a third race distance on the medium, like the medium set, if you like it, the sort of middle compound. So he's in a bit of a sticky situation. He either pushes these softs and goes mediums, or he's got to try and stretch them and then go super softs at the end. So it's an interesting strategy call that. I would have gone mediums if I were him, but he obviously feels that the softs are a better tyre.
Yes, it's a very interesting call, but I thought he was probably going to go mediums at the end. He makes a move for Leroy.
Everyone making a stop apart from Super Guy and Kingham JJ, so everyone pretty much in position. Both Red Bulls still down at the back.
It's starting to settle down the race a bit. People were getting the stops and everything. That's the chaos of like lap 1 and 1 to 5. I think people was meant to calm down a bit.
Francis has already got past Lee. Sorry to interrupt you. It was just he's already pulled a second as well. So those fresh tyres definitely giving him that extra speed he needs at this stage.
Isn't he just? He's already caught up to Bendel, and Bendel looks like he's struggling with mediums.
Oh, he's getting a bit twitchy. Is the Ferrari driver, and he's running wide. He's running wide. Francis is going to be overheating his tyres, but he's making quick progress through the traffic. And Bendel is not going to fight, as we know he does tend to stick to his own race. So for a big lock up again, though. And Mini just beginning to drop back now, actually. This isn't good from him. He needs to start cooling those tyres. He's got a car off in front of him as well. That is Zonda. So hopefully Zonda will let him through. But yeah, Mini's struggling on those tyres already. And here comes Aaron. So Mini has burnt out his tyres early on by the looks of it. And he's really beginning to feel the pain of that front left, or rear left even, depending on what setup he's running and driving style. Already dropped a second to Aaron in what is pretty much a lap. Blizzard is not too far behind, and as I say, that puts in a fastest lap of a 20.7.
Doing a strong recovery drive as well, but yeah, he looks like he's used up all of the.
Francis gets past Alduro. Oh no, he doesn't! Alduro sends him into the wall, does he? And that is Francis in the wall. I think he's managed to get away with that wing damage, but it was a case of the desync that we've seen before. And Alduro may be investigated for that because he was tucked right up behind the Renault. And I'm not sure if he just tried to pull out of a slipstream or they tangled wheels, but did look a bit suspicious, so I'm presuming that will be looked at after the race. And meanwhile, Mini struggling like mad, trying to get past Hot Zonda, who is, I'm not sure if he's lagging or if he's disconnected. He is lagging. So unfortunately for the guys behind, we've got to negotiate a flying Red Bull. But they seem to have got past them pretty quickly. Oh, he's actually lost a bit of time there, so that's interesting. Normally it works in the favour of the car following, but it hasn't in this case. And now he's out of DRS for the main straight, so Mini can have a little breather, but he's still got to cool those tyres. And once they're up to temperature, it is very difficult to bring them back down.
Exactly, it is very difficult to get those touches back down. I think he's something effective. It's trying to go as low as possible just to keep them cool, but going away too slow isn't going to help. And Aaron on those mediums, trying to affect the same age tyres. He's going to feel the effects, but Aaron is still sliding all over the place, so he's not as comfortable.
Maybe he's overheated his tyres as well on the mediums. He can't be doing that. Lee beginning to close on Bendel, but let's see if he can get anywhere near the back of the Ferrari. Trying to feather the throttle, he just can't. And those, he's actually, there's no way he's on super softs. No, I didn't think so. So Lee on mediums, he's got front wing damage around the track, which requires quite a lot of downforce. So this should be quite interesting to see how he does. Super Guy still going remarkably on those soft tyres, and Zonda is out.
As Super Guy does pit from the lead.
Wow, that's a big incident for Zonda. He's managed to end up on the left-hand side of the track, coming out of the fast right-hander. Quite remarkable, really, to get that far across the track.
Very impressive.
Francis going for a dive on Lee. Locks up the front left. Does he get the move done? Wow, a lot of wheel spin there. Not quite sure what was going on. Lee gets out of the way. Francis, a little bit of lag. We've seen that from him before. And Mini inherits the lead of the race then.
Yeah, it's going to be under threat again from Aaron. I feel like it's going to be surprised for the victory, to be honest. I think he will easily go to the end.
Yeah, Blizzard just behind him, but it's not going to be enough to affect. We've got Kingdom JJ in the pits, which has allowed Bendel and Francis to go through. The Lee also in the pits, and is he going to get his front wing changed? Let's have a little look. Yes, he is. Going up to the soft tyres, so he will... I don't know, maybe stretch them, but I don't think he'll be able to make them last, to be honest.
Yeah, it's be a tough call.
Aaron right behind Mini now. Half a second is the gap.
He's fighting for a theoretical P2 here. Mini and Aaron.
Because you think Super Guy, bearing in mind he's not got a pit again, and Mini was closing, but now his tyres have began to overheat. He's struggling massively. Francis getting past Bendel. Oh my goodness. Bendel over the curb, and he tried to turn in. The car's bounced up, and he'll have to settle for P8 again. Don't think he'll come back at him.
Francis recovering from his earlier spin with Aldora.
Blizzard has caught Super Guy though. I don't know if Super Guy's struggling to warm his tyres up. Oh, and there's the move for the lead. We've missed it. And it was through turn 3, and it's going to be currently McLaren Mercedes. Rolling back the years somewhat, but yeah, this could be an interesting battle that forms, because Super Guy doesn't look the quickest on those tyres. He's going to be held up now by the dirty air of Mini in front, and Blizzard looks quick on those mediums as well, so it's an interesting situation forming at the moment.
Yeah, it's an interesting phase of the race, but I think Super Guy just obviously the warm up on those tyres still aren't really it's very, very difficult to warm up those tyres, I say. I think he at the moment is experiencing that phase, and Mini isn't really helping because he's now starting to back him up into Blizzard with his dead soft tyres.
Potentially a bit of team games going on here.
Yeah, Mini goes pit.
Yeah, so he's obviously felt those tyres just aren't holding up. He'll go onto the mediums, I presume. Let's just stick with them actually. Goes into the pits, white wall tyres prepped and ready, on they go, and off he goes for the next 16 laps on the medium tyres. Ols in as well, big lock up from him. Alduro rolls into the pit lane. Bendel back up to P6, but he's going to have to pit at some point. I believe he started on the mediums. No, he didn't, so interesting from him there. Of course, he qualified 10th, so he's pitted off the super softs. Can Blizzard stay with Super Guy, sorry. It's going to be the question.
I don't think it can, considering the laps on those tyres. But
the lead with the fastest lap now, that's something we don't see very often. 20.5. He's all the way down in 13th though, so it's not really going to affect anything or anyone. But at the moment it's this battle for the top 3 we're looking at. Super Guy has theoretical first place right now, but it's not necessarily as easy as it seems. He hasn't got to stop again, but he's still got to negotiate A, his teammate, and B, Blizzard behind him. There could be an incident or anything that could happen, and a safety car right now would really spice things up.
It really would. And shout out Blizzard for I think it was 10 seconds off me, and then caught that up within 8 laps. So caught that up at such a fast rate in those medium tyres. He's doing a fantastic job recovering from the start they had with Hamilton.
Doesn't seem to be suffering with overheating either, does he? Bendel has gone past Francis because Francis is in the pits again. Now I can only feel
changed the lead.
I can only feel that Francis has determined that he can't really make a strategy work, so he's decided to come in sooner rather than later. Hopefully he's pushed the tyres quite hard in that middle stint that he's just run. But yeah, really backfiring there. And he's going to come out with his teammate and Ols, who are fighting for position. Kingham JJ
we're about to potential lead
in front. We're going to go back to the leaders if we can. Aaron trying to hold it around the outside. Blizzard is there though. Super Guy into the lead then. Blizzard is just sniffing around for an opportunity. He's going to get it here, is he? Aaron so close to losing the position, but he stays in front for now. This all helps Super Guy because he's just putting that extra car length between them. We've got a blue flag as well for Zigalego in front. How times have changed. Now can Blizzard get past Aaron, who has DRS off his teammate? Is he going to go for the move here? Super Guy defends. Aaron's going to try and go back through. Blizzard is right there, ducks to the outside, and these two are still fighting. Completely different strategies, and he's gone, and Blizzard has been tagged. Nobody's got away with it, but Aaron has thrown away what was a podium, and he's thrown it away for fighting with his teammate, and he really didn't need to do it. And the Mini might get past Bendel as well here. Lunge into turn one's on. He's closing, he's closing, he's closing. Moves to the inside. Well, that's a horrible camera angle we got there. Bendel and Mini giving themselves a lot of room. Probably could have carried that move through actually. Suffering with the understeer now. We go back to the leaders. And again trying to negotiate traffic. Maybe suffered with understeer through their Super Guy. Maybe lost a little bit of time. And Zigalego not getting out of the way. Not making it easy for Super Guy. He needs to let through Blizzard as well though, and he's not, and he's getting in the way here is the Williams. He's been touched by the Mercedes, and what is he doing? The Williams driver needs to get out of the way as soon as he can. Still not getting out of the way, eventually gets out of the way. Poor driving there from the Williams driver.
Fortunate for that, could have got even closer to that, but I feel that Super Guy was just trying to pull away now. He's on those fresher tyres, just trying to get clean. I think Aaron literally lightly taps the side pod of Super Guy and just lost it. Really, it was just unfortunate, unlucky. And now he has to go pit again.
When he can pit, go onto the softs and still go to the end because, what, 13 laps? Yeah, he could still do it. Comes into the pits, then Bendel comes into the pits as well for his second stop. Mini promoted into a podium position. Ols might get Bendel. Actually,
if Aaron could be able to catch Mini now on those fresh soft tyres.
He's gonna he's gonna have a few cars between him though, because obviously he's getting the front wing change. Bendel's gonna jump him, I think here. Just trying to watch. Oh, okay. Wow, thanks, Co-Masters. So he does come out in front, but oh, well that's brilliant. So Bendel, I think, has lost his front wing already, having just pitted. Hopefully he hasn't. It looks still intact, but this game is very iffy with what actually damage you have. So he hit the back of Aaron coming out the pits. Much more switched on than Aaron was clearly. Milan has got back up to P10 into a point scoring position. He was well off it earlier. So good for him. But yeah, can Aaron close that gap now to Mini? He's got a huge margin to and a few cars to get through as well. He's got a 20-second deficit, so he's going to have to try and make that up now.
It's interesting that the gap is still around the second between this and Super Guy, despite 11 lap difference on the tyres.
Just in DRS, and it's just keeping him with the McLaren. If he didn't have DRS, I'm pretty sure he'd be dropping off by now. Aldora making a move then on Francis. Not quite sure what's happened there. Francis on fresher tyres.
Making a recovery drive, obviously, the last time they contacted each other on the straight.
Yeah, of course, yeah, marvellous recovery in that sense to stay with Alduro, having him made that extra stop. And here he goes then, trying to stay with Francis this time. Alduro goes to the inside quite late, and he's outbraked himself, but Francis not able to take advantage of it. Come round turn 3 now, long right-hander. Is he going to get him? Alduro's going to try and close the door, is he? He does it a little bit later than he probably should have. No, it doesn't allow Francis an opportunity though. They're not the best exit from either of them either. This is catch all helping Kingham JJ behind. Shane the Boss gets past Milan further down, although he is in the pits. Francis, look how close he is to the back of the Toro Rosso. So they come through the far chicane. Don't want to be close through there. Now he's going to have a lunge into the hairpin. Alduro doesn't go defensive. And here we go, down the inside from Francis. Big lock up. Lots of tyre smoke. Loses the back end. And Alduro swooshes past. And it's still going on between these two. Meanwhile, Francis, 4/10 down. We'll skip back to those guys in a minute because it's a battle for P5 that we're interested in right now. 2/10 separate the two cars. Alduro, will he go defensive? Doesn't really do it enough. Francis trying to force his way down the inside then into turn 1. He's got the move done, and he knows Francis with a little bit of a tap, I think, cuts the corner to keep the position, gets a warning and a 3-second time penalty for it. Now can Francis get the cutback? No, he's going round the outside. Surely not of turn 3. Alduro back up the inside then. He's not going to let him past. Oh, where are they? There they are, coming round out of turn 4 into turn 5. Big lock up again from Francis. He's fighting hard. He's got the position. Has he? No. He's made a mistake on the exit. And Alduro looking up the inside there. That's a dangerous move. I think he's paid the price for it. Yeah, he's in the gravel. And he may have just taken out Aaron there. Aaron trying to avoid him. And oh my goodness, what is going on here? Kim JJ taking evasive action. Oh my goodness.
That's a Contesino effect and a half from one dive bomb affecting 2 other cars.
You do not make a dive bomb at that corner, I'm sorry, but you just do not look up the inside of that corner. And the way he did as well, very rash. Steamed up the inside. And, well, let's be honest, it's really a one-line corner there.
Yeah,
so,
it was a desperation attempt, and I think he realised the move was lost, and so he had to try and make something up. Eventually, that was his attempt, and it didn't really work out. But he is coming back to the DRS. He is absolutely pelting into the straight.
Oh my goodness, a straight line speed on that Toro Rosso. Sweeps around the outside of turn 1. He's up the inside for turn 2. He's left space by Francis, but he's got the inside line. And he's on the AstroTurf coming out of turn 2. It's affected his line, and now Aaron's right there as well. So it could be a 3-way battle for P5 at the moment. Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to go up the inside. I think he scared Francis into a mistake though. Aaron having a little twitch as well. Francis locking up. He's trying to brake as late as he dares, but he's just destroying his tyres. And I think Francis is just Super Guy's just pulled enough to keep Blizzard out of DRS range. And Francis all over the place again. Blizzard coming back at Super Guy though, with the DRS in fact, but again not able to take effect. So having a look up the inside, closes the door. And they are so close as they come through the section now. We're right on board with Aaron to get a third man perspective from this. Oh, as he touched the back of Francis, I think he did. And to be fair to him, I'm pretty sure that was desync, because it didn't look like he touched the back of him. And yeah, that's just really unfortunate. I don't know if he's managed to save it. Oh, he's lost a lot of time. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Those guys were having a lovely scrap, and Francis, Blizzard has eventually suffered the tyre deg, and he's now dropping back. He could actually pit and still come out in front of his teammate, so he might do that. We'll see though. Mini on for quite an easy podium.
Yeah, shame for Francis. Second time desync has potentially cost him. Some points again in this race.
Blizzard does indeed pit from second place. He will keep second place, I'm pretty sure about. But Super Guy is going to have a huge lead when he comes back out.
Yeah, I feel Blizzard will set the fastest lap on those.
Oh, it's definitely, yeah, you'd think now. Milan and Shane very close together. Battle for the final point scoring position. And let's be honest, there's not going to be anyone scoring more than 1 point between these two, because Shane is some 17 seconds behind Francis, who is up the road.
This time now it's Alduro and Aaron, all P5 as well.
Yep, here he goes then, lining up the move. DRS up from Shane as well on the lapped car. Only 3 DNFs, which is, well, technically 4. 2 Williams still going round, yep, still going round doing their thing. Aaron looking at Alduro again, unable to get close though. Down the main straight. Bendel and Kingham J. Bendel's just made a move, in fact, on Kingham JJ. Wow, you don't see that very often.
I believe we didn't catch up, but I got a good run into turn 2 and got past. I think that's where he's probably going to stay, to be honest. I don't think he'll be able to catch Aaron unless Aldoro.
Here goes Milan. Oh, very defensive, very late from Shane. And he's managed to hold the inside of the corner somehow. Has he affected his run though for turn 3? I feel like Milan's going to try and cut back here. Mid-corner, and he has. Shane trying to defend, he can't because the salva's there. Milan up the inside, then pushing the Toro Rosso wide slightly. But he does get through, and a little bit aggressive, but it gets it done fairly cleanly in the end.
Yeah, anyway, gets to the P10. Despite being on the slower tyres, despite being on the same lap stop tyres. But yeah, it's Milan. As easy as you like. And Aaron now, 55.
Great wing cam shot here. And running a little bit wide is Aldoro. Maybe suffering a bit of tyre deg, but it is Aaron on the attack now. Down the main straight with the DRS in action. As we ride on board, trying to save some energy it looks like. And he doesn't go for the move, gets very close to the back of him again. Kingham JJ on Bendel.
A good run into turn 2.
Is he going to go defensive here? Nope, and he's holding position, Aaron. He's obviously trying to line up the move out of the last corner because he's saving quite a lot of energy. So it looks to me like he's just trying to pick his moment and really try and get that overtake to maximum effect. Because if he gets past at turn 1, it means Aldoro is going to have dirty air for the rest of the track until the next DRS zone, which in Aaron's case he could have pulled a big enough gap. And then of course he's got the last sector, so he does look pretty racy right now.
Exactly, and to counter that, as Blizzard does an 18-0, to counter that, I think Aldoro is just saving all his energy through the technical bits, just so he can get that drive out of the last corner and to defend on the DRS and the ERS management.
Francis all over the back of his teammate. We're going to try and stay with them as well. Aaron then, out of the last corner. Does Aldoro have the electrical deployment that he needs? I think he does, unless Aaron again is saving. Looks like mode 1 to me. Francis, not enough battery to get past his teammate. And will suffer another lap of dirty air. Oh, a little twitch from Aaron as he came out of turn 2. And will he be overheating those tyres? I want a Blizzard. Now, Blizzard, I'm pretty sure he's got 9 seconds, possibly even 12 seconds of pens already. So if he picks up another one, Mini could inherit second place. But he is on super soft, so we'll see how that pans out. Francis right behind his teammate, looks for the lunge. Kingham JJ went to turn in, and I think he saw his teammate locking up, and he lets him through. I mean, if he turned in, he would have been putting them both in trouble, but Francis very aggressive there. Unfortunately costing his teammate the position. He will go on now to chase Bendel, which could potentially open up a chance for his teammate to get through as well. Oh, Aldoro's gone! And he's in the wall with wing damage, and that is his race over. He tries to spin it round, not quite sure what he's trying to do there. Way too much power. Trying to reverse onto the track now.
Touch the curb. That curb is very lethal.
Oh my goodness, Kingham JJ. That is not the line you want to take through that chicane, that's for sure. Straight over the sausage curb. And now it's Francis attacking Bendel.
Yeah, he looks very vulnerable. And it's pretty easy for Francis, despite the racing.
Up the inside he goes then. Big lock up again. Bendel beginning to struggle now, it looks like. Kingham JJ's there as well. Milan has actually just picked off Aldoro, so although we were saying they're not going to score more points, he's actually just moved up a position. Shane won't because he's already stopped. He's stopped again, not quite sure why he stopped again. And she gets another stop go, so that's going to be added to his time. Eusebio moving up into 11th. He's not that far behind Lee either. And Bendel's line does seem to be a lot slower because Kingham JJ is catching him hugely through parts where you really shouldn't be catching large amounts of time.
Yeah, I think it looks like...
oh, his brakes! Look at that! Kingham JJ was so late on the brakes and Bendel so early on the brakes, he just ploughed into the rear. He's got almost a full pit stop though behind him, so he could pit for supers, or he could just nurse the damage. I don't think he'll lose 4 seconds a lap. We've got a yellow in sector 1. Oh, that's Elduro again! Or is it Shane actually? It might be Shane, it is Shane.
That's Shane
And he can
promote Leroy. Up in the 10th, is it? Or
no, he'd already stopped. Lee was already in P10 actually. All starting to simmer down now, and as the evening draws to a close, Shane the boss, all over the place with that lack of downforce he now suffers.
Yeah,
and I think
the only interesting battle right now probably is Aaron probably trying to catch Ollie in 2 seconds, a couple laps.
Yep, there's pretty much nothing else going on. So for next 3.5 laps or so, it's going to be just the guys making sure they don't make any mistakes.
Yeah, I think the race has been quite exciting up to this point. I think it's been so much chaos going on. Fortunately for Blizzard at the start, being almost at P12 at one point, and to recover back to P2 is a very, very respectable indeed. Fair play to him. So guy did the controlling race. Led from, did he actually lead from the start? No, it was Minion led from the start. He just controlled his own race and just did his own thing, and the BSC kind of worked in his favour.
Yeah, definitely. Although one person we didn't see the VSC work for was Blizzard, because he got caught up so early on. But he's had a tremendous recovery drive. We've got a yellow in sector 3, and it's Shane again, and I think he might get disqualified for this. No, it's just about negotiated. He's crashed so many times today. Let's just have a quick look at how many stops he's made. So this will be his 4th pit stop. Not quite Marklin's record of, what was it, 8, I think, or 9 in Monaco?
9, I think it was 9. Monaco.
Pretty impressive stuff. Eusebio catching Lee. Now, that's not something we see very often. Eusebio on the charge for a point.
The penalties become the favour as well for Eusebio. Had a very tough race up to the heights of P4 from like the VSC, but it hasn't really worked out in his race.
Yeah, it's interesting, Eusebio. He's only been on these tyres, well, when he finishes, he'll been on them about 10 laps. But he's done his 2 stops. But I don't know, it just feels like he's made the wrong strategy calls at times.
So, you feel that. I don't know, I think he's not done anything wrong, it's just he's not had the pace as he would hoped now, but at this moment in time, he could finish in 10th place despite having a 3 penalty, and because the lead has a 5 seconds top go unserved.
Ah, interesting then, okay. So he might actually get him on track because he does look pretty quick, Eusebio.
Yeah, in this stage of the race, yeah. He's got it. Doing personal best as well.
Yeah, everyone else pretty evenly spread out now. Aaron is still 2 seconds behind Ols, sorry. And 2 big names early out of this Grand Prix, Manuel Hamilton and Ollie Flavel. Ollie Flavel unable to set a lap in qualifying and unable to complete more than 1 lap in the race, so a poor weekend for him. Manuel Hamilton got P2, caused a collision at turn 1 and then put it in the wall coming out of turn 9. So it's not been a good weekend for him particularly either. But Blizzard, I think you could argue it's been a pretty strong performance. He started first, got pushed off track by Manuel Hamilton, recovery drive to P2, and his teammate in P3 as well. Considering Minnie said last week, he said, you know, I hope for a podium next week, and he's gone and got it. So he's done well there.
Yeah, fair play too. He qualified very well, got that P3 in the grid, and he held his own when he was leading the race for that time being that he was. And if it was in the luck was in his favour, he could have actually had a win, but unfortunately that's how it is. But P3 is still a respectable result. He's had a very, very, very strong race.
Here comes Eusebio on the lead as Superguy's actually on his final lap, and he's only
Yeah.
Down the inside. Is it going to be an easy move? Lee trying to make it difficult for him. He was never holding that position. And it wouldn't surprise me if he's got an illegal overtake. Yep, there you go. Lets him back through. And, yeah, I'm not quite sure why he was trying to hold that there. You could tell he didn't have the grip. He's going to try and go for a move around the outside of turn 4. And he's definitely not got the grip to do that. Looks for a move. Okay, Lee, need to calm it down now. Okay, lock wheels coming out of turn 6. Turn 5, sorry, into turn 7 and 8 now. Up the hill then.
Defending as I think he's in the last sector. Yes, he is coming around to the chicane.
Yep, let's just jump aboard with Super Guy very quickly and watch him as he crosses the line. Just quickly looking back at these guys. Yep, nothing going on there. Blizzard qualified pole. Super Guy qualified, I think it was P3 or 4 on the softs, and it worked a treat in the end. He takes home the 25 points and the win. Blizzard come home, or will come home in P2, Mini in P3. Let's just have a quick look where the Lee and Eusebio are, just behind the leader. And it will be the Lee who finishes P10 on track and keeps P10 as well. So no change there. Blizzard, let's just have a look where he is coming out. Oh wow, that's very professional. Into the wall. His teammate meanwhile has had a solid drive, possibly could have managed his tyres a little bit better, but other than that he's done a superb job. 45 seconds behind the leader, but he will take home a podium position and he'll be happy with that one. Ols in P4, bit of very quiet race for him. He's just done his own thing really. Everyone else has done what they did in front and around, and Milan is fighting with King of J. Aaron has binned it somewhere. Aaron's out. So I'm not quite sure what's happened there. He's binned it in P9. Milan now into P8. Bedou's going to cross the line P6. Good result for him. Francis is 5th. And look how close Milan is. He was P10 4-5 laps ago with not a hoping chance. And then he run out of fuel. I think he might have run out of fuel. It's a drag race to the line. And Milan gets him in the last feet of the Grand Prix. What a drive from Milan in the last few laps. My goodness. A great final drive from him, and he picks off King of JJ at the line for P7. Good drive from him in the end, and he was down to P14 at one stage, nowhere near anyone. Great drive from him in the last few laps. So the determination as well to keep going. Fantastic stuff.
Incredible. It was incredible, like, and it was unexpected. Don't know what happened to Aaron either, so probably made an error, at least in the last sector. But yeah, congratulations to Super Guy now for the victory and Blizzard P2 and Mini P3. That's a fantastic race. It was very chaotic and interesting. Definitely.
Yeah, very interesting start to the race. It did sort of die down in the end, but there was a lot of action throughout. Very enjoyable race to watch and commentate over, that's for sure. Milan, superb job in the end. You know, he did great after that very early pit stop, and picked off quite a few places at the end there. Not quite sure what happened to Aaron. Unfortunately, we didn't see it, but yeah, a good race nonetheless. And of course, our 3 DNFs of Ollie Flavel, Manuel Hamilton, and Hot Zonda. And of course, Aaron as well, putting it in the wall in the final lap. Not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, obviously just fighting away very hard indeed. So yeah, so that's it from us for this evening. Join us on the PSF1 channel, well, not us necessarily, but Lilia on the PSF1 channel at 8 o'clock for the F1 race. There's no rain in that one forecast, but yeah, it should be an interesting race. Some different strategies going on again, much like this track as well. And to be honest, this it is looking to be like there is a lot more racing going on this year.
Yeah, it is probably looking to be one of the closest challenges in a while. Anyone could win a race at this point, as we saw in last week's race in Singapore, as Lewis took the victory there. So yeah, tune in for that. Anything can happen then. So yeah.
Yep, thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next week. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember what the track is for next week.
Canada.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is Canada, yeah. So yeah, we'll be back with you for the Canadian Grand Prix next week. So hopefully everyone's going to be a bit more cautious because the walls are a lot closer. But anyway, yeah, that's it from us for now, and we'll see you next week at 6 o'clock for the Canadian Grand Prix.